tips are going to be easy, effective. Hey YouTube family, welcome to my channel Decorate with Manas. How are you? Let's be real. Small spaces are cute and they have this magical quality about them, but decorating them can be really challenging. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my top tips for decorating small spaces that can make a really big difference and create an illusion of a larger space. I often get this compliment from my guests that, oh, your space looks very large. How big is it? But it's actually a very compact flat. The carpet area is just 900 square feet. These tips are really working for my space and I'm sure they will work for your space too. And even if you don't identify with having a small space, you can still use these tips to just optimize the space that you have and still create a big visual opening of your space. These tips are going to be easy, effective, and extremely affordable. So what are we waiting for? Let's begin. Let's start with decor. And the first tip here is using mirrors in your space. Using mirrors will create depth and dimension and will double up the perceivable area in your space. Mirrors also help in just reflecting a lot of light and creating a more well-lit space. One caveat though, you need a large mirror to create a perceivable visual impact. You can't just have a small teeny tiny mirror in a space and expect it to create the illusion of a larger space. Size should at least be 2 feet by 2 feet to create a perceivable visual difference in your space. And you can check your hair more often. The second tip is on curtains. Hang the curtains higher, as close as to the ceiling you can get. Hanging the curtains high will trick the eye that the space is actually taller than it is because of the long profile that the curtains will create, and this also helps in creating the illusion of a larger space. The next tip is regarding art. Having large art pieces in the house actually helps in creating the illusion of a large space. Large art will create a focal point for your eyes to rest, distracting them from looking at the floor, thus tricking the eye to think that it's a larger area. As an additional bonus, large art will also give your home a very high-end, luxurious look. So instead of going for a lot of smaller art pieces, go for 1 or 2 statement bigger art pieces. Large art can be costly and I'm all for achieving high-end results in a very affordable manner. So one thing that you can do is, even if you have a small art piece, you can use more matting and just frame it in a larger frame. So even if your artwork is small, it will create the illusion of a larger space without it being costly. In terms of lighting, prefer lighting that is mounted on the walls or a ceiling as opposed to floor lamps. It will create the same soft light without taking up floor space. Another decor tip is basically to just group items in trays or baskets. It will look less cluttered and help visually clean up the space. Let's now talk about the furniture choices. In general, select furniture that is leaner. Try to stay away from heavy looking bulky furniture because that will just be visually very heavy. Sleek furniture, especially with legs, will create this light airy feeling and will help in the visual continuity of the floor, creating an illusion of a larger space. To coffee tables especially, instead of buying a heavy bulky kind of a coffee table, these days nested coffee tables are in trend. They look really sleek, they're very smart, and it's very easy to move them to the side when you're not entertaining guests. You can easily move them to even make end tables. So they're very multi-purpose, they will not look heavy and bulky and will work very well in a small space. Also, when it comes to tables, any kind of a round table will be more effective in a smaller space than a square or a rectangular table. Round tables do not have harsh edges, so they just blend well and fit well with a compact space as opposed to square or rectangular tables. And if required, it can fit in more people comfortably. For example, a 4-seater dining table can fit in 6 people easily. The last tip here is just to have the furniture that you need. Be very mindful of what you're bringing in your house. If you feel that you're not going to need it as much, don't bring it. Do you really need that large coffee table that will close off the remaining open area in your living room? No. Do you really need that bar cart that you saw on Instagram but your place doesn't really have space for it? No. And bringing a piece of extra furniture, especially if it's taking up floor space, is going to make it look smaller, and you don't really have to follow the conventions or rules. You decide what's best for your place. For example, I don't even have a coffee table in my house because I need the middle area empty for my activities and how I use my home. I do a lot of yoga here, I work out, I play cards with my friends. So it's just easy for me to have this middle area of my house available for all those activities, and a coffee table would actually just disrupt the flow of activities in that space, and hence for my personal use, I don't have a coffee table. So you can also decide what do you need in your house and then choose wisely and just bring those pieces in your home. The last section is about the color theme and the canvas of the rooms, basically the walls, the ceiling, the floor. In general, lighter colors will be more effective in smaller spaces because they will just bounce off light and make the room look bigger. In terms of design, a neutral color palette which is not very harsh, things that blend with each other and work cohesively as a design pattern will work much better in a small space. But Manas, white and off-white is so boring. I recommend a dark theme if your room doesn't get a ton of light, but if it does, please go ahead. Especially in bedrooms where you want things to be calm and cozy, you can definitely experiment with a dark theme and it will still look bigger and not boring. Just follow a cohesive design with darker furniture and other decor elements. So those were my top tips for decorating small spaces. Let me know in the comments which was your favorite tip that you can't wait to try in your home. I love reading your comments and I reply to each and every comment because I love you guys. I hope you liked my video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I make videos on home decor and DIY. I keep it real, I keep it fun, I keep it simple, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!